Let's go.
As we finally get to our first qualifying match of the evening, it will be a TVP, kicking things off on 2000 Atmospheres. LE here in the top right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the top right-hand corner. We have the red Terran player coming out from the land of Taiwan. He is, of course, going to be representing himself, as far as I know, as he is the gentleman Terran. He is JavieR.
And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, but also in the top left, because this man is tired of waiting. Because we've all been waiting for this series, representing Team Kyoga. It is the Protoss Taiwanese player, Crush.
Crush. Song from 2000s.
There you go. Beautiful, man. Beautiful, as we do have a proxy gateway out here in the center, or at the top left-hand side of the map. So far, JavieR has no idea. At some point, I'm sure, I hope, I fingers crossed, he does go for a bit of an SCV scout.
Which he should. For now, he needs to make sure this probe doesn't interfere with the production too much, and he doesn't, but he's not going for a full scout. He's not going for a scout with the SCV light. He's not going across the map. He's relying entirely on the Reaper.
Oh my god. He's just trying to deal with this pesky probe, doing whatever nonsense he can to be annoying. Even tempted to take that gas. I love it.
Yes.
But as you said, the Reaper, it's even going to waste some time dealing with this probe instead of going across the map.
The probe can just rally around that natural base and try to Reaper away. Yeah, you're right. But then at the same time, if the Reaper goes across the map, it also won't be in position to deal with the Zealot. So either way, things are definitely looking up for Crush. And this is, I guess we neglected to talk a little bit about it, but I feel like this is going to be one of the first really close matches that we get this evening.
He doesn't see. He doesn't know. Wow. How? Oh my god, he sees the Zealot. Thank god.
He went too high. He went too high.
He did. The first Zealot does get in here. Thankfully, the Reaper was close to home. It wasn't halfway across the map. So it will be here. Forces a cancel on the bunker. Gonna force a cancel or a delay on the CC as well.
Maybe able to force a cancel too. Yeah, there we go. The power of two Zealots that get proxied immediately.
Exactly, and we are going from one proxy to the other. The Cybercore finished up, and we are going full Void Ray Shield Battery.
Indeed, we are. Oh boy.
This is disgusting.
So for that pylon to finish up. Now there is a bunker in location guarding that ramp, preventing any gateway units from getting up, but nothing to prevent the Void Rays. We don't see any E-base. Okay, we do see an E-base.
Oh, he was going for it. Mates, he was going for it. We have +1 on the way. He just so happened to have an NG bay for the missile turret. It was totally unintentional.
3 racks. He's still going for that 3 racks.
Yes.
By the way, I feel like, yeah. I'm still kind of surprised that he hasn't gone for the factory. A lot of times you see, Cyclones are the go-to defensive unit here, but JavieR is relying entirely on 1 missile turret, 1 bunker, and a whole lot of Marines.
Yeah, I do think that JavieR is being a little bit stubborn here because he still wants to do what he does, right? He wants to go into the 3 racks. Because of that is weakening his defenses, but he has the missile turret. So, like, it's kind of like a give and take, right? He's going to have Marines and missile turrets to defend and then to eventually counterattack, but is this going to be enough to deal with all the Void Rays? That's the question.
It's a very important question, yeah, and a lot of his production, quite a number of his buildings were exposed. SCVs aren't mining, but they will be able to repair a lot quicker. The gateway units are able to force their way in. The shield battery's not quite in position to heal them, but they do still heal the Void Ray.
Oh my god, mate, we got the trifecta of shield batteries that are just covering the Protoss army from all angles here. It's insane. And the Void Ray count is getting higher and higher. And again, because it's just Marines and missile turrets, the biggest problem is that he can never, like, chase down these Void Rays like you can with Vikings or Cyclones, right?
Yeah, there's nothing really zoning these units away.
Exactly.
Forcing them to back off. The Stalkers in position for a long time were able to chip away at that barracks, and now, okay, not quite able to get in range of the bunker, but 3 Void Rays with Prismatic Alignment on
Yeah.
top of that shield battery. They should be fine.
Exactly. The bunker immediately goes down, so do a couple of the Marines, and now the Void Rays have broken through. And again, the problem with these Marines are, like, without Stim, they just can't chase anything down, and Stim is not on the way, not at all. Like, the reactors are being prioritized instead.
Yeah, which kind of makes sense from this position, but at
Yeah.
the same time, you kind of wonder, why are you in this position to begin with,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's like, it kind of makes sense, but it's like, what's the win condition? This is like, he can survive, but like, how do you move on from here, you know? How do you deal with the Void Rays?
Well, you hope and pray that your opponent is 100% all in and you kill every single Void Ray.
How?
That's the million-dollar
How?
question.
Like, the Marines are just all dying, mate, one after the other. Sure, they have +1, but it's not enough. The repairs on the missile turret are not enough either. The boys are going down. They're being pulled. Just panic all over the place, and G gets called.
G, which stands for Kyoga. Or just Ga in Kyoga.
Gah.
Ah!
Oh.
Crush gonna be taking game number 1 in the opposite of Haas fashion, I guess. Old Haas fashion.
I guess so. There's some people in the chat questioning this. Can a 3-Rex hold this?
Not at all, as we
Yeah.
see.
Like, there's a reason why we were questioning, like, really? No factory? No starport? Like, it did feel very stubborn of JavieR to just commit to the 3-Racks, even though he was being proxied. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Like, I too wanted to hope with the missile turrets, and missile turrets, they actually do a lot of damage against Stargate units in particular, especially the Void Rays, if you position them well enough and if your repairs are on point. But, yeah, even then, I feel like it wouldn't have been enough, because, you know, at that point, you have no... Like you're saying, you have no win condition available to you.
Yeah.
You survive, and then what do you do? At least with Cyclones or with Vikings, once you deal with the threat, you can send them around the map and try to get some harassment damage. But regardless, we're going to be continuing our series here on Romanticide LE, a big long map, but I have a feeling that we aren't going to be getting a big long game just because of how these two players like to play here. In the bottom right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Red Terran player coming out from the land of Taiwan. He is the 3-Raxer of the Paxers, of the DreamHackers. He is going to be representing himself. He is JavieR.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player. He is blue, representing Clan Kyoga. It is Crush. Crushing his opponent in game 1.
Aha! Can you keep it up?
That is the question here. So far, the Rax is at home, and I like that. You know, game 1, you kind of just want to knock your opponent off balance a little bit with a proxy. Game 2, hey, just play standard.
Yeah. Just alternate, you know, make sure that your opponent is never able to acclimate to how you want to play.
That is the plan. That is the go-to strategy here for Crush. At least so far, that's what it seems to be. Meanwhile, is there any question in your mind, mate? Is JavieR gonna go for a 3-Rax?
Yes.
Is gonna
maybe not on Romanticide. I feel like if you want to go for a 3-Rax on Romanticide, then you may as well proxy the second and the third barracks.
It's I kind of agree, right? Like, what I feel like what we're gonna find out here on Romanticide is whether or not I was about to see whether or not JavieR is a one-trick pony. Like, if he does nothing but 3-Racks regardless of the map, that is worrisome. But as we see, this madman is throwing down a factory. He's crazy.
In a TVP.
Yeah, standard.
Next, you're gonna tell me he's gonna go for mine drops. It's
right?
Mate.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. But I love this. Like, I honestly was worried, you know, especially because we saw it a lot 2 days ago against Beastlork, where in the end, Javier was torn apart. He was a little bit too predictable, right? That's the last thing you want to be in a game of StarCraft.
Yeah, Beastork was really able to get a sense of how Javier liked to play, and he found the one unit that he needed to counter it all.
Oh, that he did. But now we do see that.
Watching.
Yeah. And now Javier is playing this completely differently now, right? He's going up into a 1-1-1. We do have some Widow Mines on the way for those drops. We'll see how committed this is going to be. If, like, I don't know, something crazy like an armory is thrown down at some point. But we're going to be entering a very different game that we've seen all day today from Javier.
That we are. Going to scout with his Reaper. He sees everything he needs to, you know, double gateway, but not like it was double gateway first, just gateway, cybercore gateway. Nice and standard alongside that blink.
Yep, exactly. Nothing crazy going on. I will be shocked if Crush throws down 2 forges. Would
you?
I would be. I would. I hope he doesn't.
I hope he does.
As so far, a couple of gateways are being thrown down. True. It is romanticide, right? The big brain plays will be coming out. We do have a third Nexus on the way here for Crush. Again, nothing too crazy, but across the map goes that drop.
It's making its way slowly. It's boosting forward.
That it is. We do have some Stalkers here at the third base, so we'll see how strong the response will be here. Blink will not be done in time for this drop, so there's still a lot of opportunity, potential for these Widow Mines.
It's boosting forward! That's another, not as big of an explosion, but still decent value nonetheless. The third mine, though, that's where it's all at. They're lining up. Okay, they do make it out of there in time. Third Widow Mine doesn't get anything, but the medevac gets a lot of scouting information, and these mines are going to reset. Oh, Crush, please tell me you're sending your stalkers. He's warping in a couple. Okay. Woo!
That was so close. Those Stalkers were not responding at all. But it looks like these Widow Mines will not get second shots off. But regardless, they did deal a lot of damage. 9 probes for 3 Widow Mines. Mate, worth.
That's double the value. No, triple.
Speaking of double, mate, he's doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Yo.
May as well.
Yeah, Crush, he's listening into the stream. He's like, yo, double upgrades? Haas, he's in the region. Let's go. Jesus.
Blink already finished up for him, so yeah, once again, just trying to keep Javier back as long as possible while his upgrades kick in.
Yeah. And they are going to be kicking in. And meanwhile, we just see a continuation into Widow Mine production here. Just biomine from our Terran player. Meanwhile, these Stalkers are looking for a way in. They don't necessarily have high ground vision at the moment, and they're not going to have any anytime soon. Interesting choice for him to delay his robo. He is playing like Haas, by the way, and like KJJ before. Just nothing but gateways. No robo.
Well.
Mate, Haas, what have you done to the region? What have you done?
He's introduced waifus, is what he's done.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, I'm actually liking this a lot from Javier. He spots the Stalkers, so he sort of... Well, the execution leaves a bit to be desired, but yeah, he sent out a bit of a force of bio to try to see if he could flank the Stalkers, but yeah, then unfortunately the Stalkers backed away.
Yeah, in the other direction, unfortunately. He was getting ready for a bit of a sandwich, as you said, but a sandwich was misplaced, mistimed a little bit. But this is not mistimed, as we do have Javier pushing out across the map with his bio, with all of his Widow Mines. Will Crush have enough to defend here? He's lacking when it comes to... He's lacking a lot, actually, when it comes to stack defense. Is going to have a lot of Zelds to work with, though.
The same downfall of KJJ. Let's hope that Crush doesn't make the same mistake. He doesn't have any shield batteries.
Yeah. 0, mate.
In his third base.
Period.
That's a lot. I mean, he doesn't have any shield batteries. They just don't exist for him.
They just don't exist, mate.
Of Widow Mines are out here. Blink, puppy! Does blink back, avoids the Widow Mine shots, but unable to avoid the bio.
Exactly. Meanwhile, the Zelds are coming in, but there are 3 Widow Mines remaining. The shots do go off, but we still have plenty of Zelds. They're trying to dive on top of the tank. Can he focus it down?
shots were just about perfect. Those Widowmine shots, I mean, but when it's all said and done, Crush had the defender's advantage. He was continuing to warp in Zealots, and he will chase this push all the way back home. Look at the army count now, the army supply difference. Remember how much larger it was before they engaged.
Yeah, exactly. That was a beautiful engagement there. Crushed that engagement, that push outside his third base, even without shield batteries. Madman, just relying on upgrades and just sheer amounts of zealots.
Now he's getting to fourth base. He knows he has map control. That 1-1 really kicking in for him.
Yeah, that it is. I mean, 2-2 is on the way. He's so on top of his upgrades. Again, this is a very unique style of play, but it can be effective, and we'll see if Crush can succeed where KJJ failed. It's not like JavieR isn't familiar with this kind of style and composition. He just went up against it. I'm sure they played and they know all about Haas as well. So, again, a very well-versed style in the Taiwanese region. As
Sort of pylon keeping Crush alive.
That it is. Up!
Baro Papi! Oh! I love it. Like, Crush getting a little overconfident, a little cocky here. He thought he had enough to take out the Widowmines as they were borrowing, but he didn't, and he lost it all.
Madman. He was actually attacking with his probes. He surrounded and attacked the Widowmines with them, only pulled a couple away, and he suffered as a result, losing the entire mineral line.
Yeah, I think either he surrounded only one Widowmine, or he surrounded every Widowmine with his probes so the Stalkers weren't spreading out the DPS. So all it took was one, but there were two that borrowed. And with that, the end of that Widowmine, that mineral line, I should say. However, important to point out, Crush is still on 4 bases. He's already overtaken the work account once again.
Yeah, like, it's one of those things where he can afford these losses for now, right? He cannot afford too many more of those, so he has to be careful. His Stalkers were a little bit out of position. He had a nice snipe on one of the Liberators. I mean, there's only one remaining, and the Stalkers are already in position. This harassment is not going to do anything here. Oh my god.
So seeks around, not able to seek around.
Ooh. It does go down. Meanwhile, JavieR is trying to find a way. Oh my god, no, the Immortal! No!
So exposed, it will get taken out. Pyro concussive shells.
Yeah, a little bit of an unfortunate rally, but now we do see the Zealot army collapsing on the army of the Terran here. All the Widowmine shots go off, but that was only on half the Zealots, mate.
Half the Zealots and a bit of the Bio army. Unfortunate friendly fire. Crush, I almost said he's fighting very deep off creep, but he is getting kited from the concussive shells. Yeah, technically true. He's fighting off creep.
The madman, he's fighting off creep. He's doing it. Meanwhile, the reinforcements are coming in for JavieR. Crush maybe overextending a little bit here. He is running out of Zealots, and now with no Zealots, he's losing Stalkers.
Just like so, you really need a buffer for Stalkers. As funny as it is to mention, a lot more Zealots are starting to be produced. I feel like JavieR has, or will be able to break this eventually. Very good Widowmine connections once again on top of all these Zealots. No armory whatsoever. Okay, now we have an armory.
Yeah, that we do. Meanwhile, all the Zealots get cleaned up, and this is what we were talking about. Without the Zealots, the Stalkers mean nothing to this bio. JavieR, he is powering through this Gateway army, and it's working. He's finally puncturing through towards those Nexuses.
Widowmine's gonna reset. They're gonna reset.
God, it's gonna be so close. We're waiting, puppy. We're waiting.
Definitely very surprised that Crush has decided not to get any AoE, and he's really started to pay for the price for it. I guess he just wanted to play like Haas as much as possible, but
yeah,
only Haas can play like Haas, really.
Just like Haas, just like KJJ. What I will say is that Crush is pulling this off in a better manner than KJJ. Like, it does feel like his macro has been more important. Like, his expansions have been unhindered as well. Even though he's been a hard time holding on, he hasn't lost many probes here in these engagements. Sure, to the drops earlier, but like so far, this push hasn't broken through the army.
Really hasn't. Crush is trading very inefficiently, but it's doing enough to just keep the Terran army at bay.
Yeah, at least it was, but it looks like, especially with these Widowmines, oh god, we just have to wait for them to reset, and then suddenly JavieR will have another massive platform to just launch from.
And he's already setting that up with his Liberators.
Yeah, that he is. Oh my god. Oh, you do not want to be walking through there. Immortal, please, no! Oh, there's detection. Never mind.
Detection! Well, there's detection for one of them because it's the range of the cannon.
Yeah.
Not sure about the rest.
God.
There's one Skadoosh, 2 Skadooshes, 1 more, and that Immortal's out.
Yeah, that it is. If we even need it. Meanwhile, the rest of the gateway units are gonna be taken out here as well. Now there's just nothing left here to defend this 4th base. Crush, he's gonna try though. He comes in with a couple more gateway units plus 3s on the way. He does have 2-2. He does have superior upgrades compared to the Terran, but he just doesn't have the supply.
Yeah, he really does not. The numbers are not in his favor. Look at all these mines. Look at a friendly fire actually on the Liberator, but even then it doesn't matter much. That's how ahead JavieR is in army.
Yeah, exactly. The base has been broken, and with the base, so has the player. As JavieR may have had a hard time in game number 1 against a proxy, but once he finally gets swinging things, once he gets underway, he just shuts down the Protoss. It's too much bio, mate. Too many Marines and Marauders. Man with gun.
Too much stim, too. Medevacs are of transfuse energy. GG is called JavieR. We'll type that series sideways 1-1.
Oh.
I feel like Crush's plan there for splash damage was just friendly fire. And that ain't exactly reliable.
Oh god. GG. I mean, honestly, I think Crush was fine for the most part. I think probably the biggest problem and things that like momentum really swung in JavieR's way when his Widowmines just weren't being killed because there wasn't any detection. So they just got so much value. They just like, we saw how large that Widowmine count was towards the end because they just weren't dying. Because they just kept surviving these engagements, and they really did kind of like start to snowball towards the end there, supporting that bio army. Like,
Really did. You know, Widowmines, they're not as reliable as tanks. They're not necessarily as reliable as tanks. But when they pop off, they go boom. They literally pop off.
When they pop off, man, they be popping off. Damn. Oh god. So yeah, we'll see if maybe our player can recoup a little bit here. It looks like Crush needs a little bit of time after that loss. Maybe thinking about his next cheese. Maybe thinking about refining his style a little bit.
Maybe calling up B-Stork and Haas and being like, yo, I need a build.
Boy, we'll see. We'll see. Again, I do think that, like, even though he was getting Immortals, like, the Immortals never really came into play, right? Like, I don't know. There's probably a world out there where the resources spent on the Immortals could have been on a Robotics Bay, and if he's not confident in his ability,
like definitely would have been.
Yeah, like and if he's not confident in his ability to control like disruptors, that's fine. Hey, just get Colossus, just A move, you know, you're all good.
I mean, we didn't even get a Templar Archives that game, did we? Like,
No.
if you really want to dedicate yourself to gateway style, then High Templar, Storm, and Archons, right?
Or just the Archons, right? You know,
Or just the Archons, yeah.
You don't have to restrict yourself, you know. Spread your wings, fly free, quack.
Quack. Fly free like a stork. Oh!
Nope.
Oh.
Hey.
Or like a Red Bull that gives you rings.
There you go. There you go. As we are getting ready for game number 3 here. We're tied up 1-1.
Not quite our ace match yet, but, you know, our king match.
Yeah, not the ace match. I just realized that I had a menu over your face. I apologize. Feels bad, man.
Like, that's the volume slider. And people can see in real time the audio balancing.
Yeah. I was adjusting it earlier. Oh, boy.
Look, This is great, actually. It gives the viewers a bit of a sneak peek when I go loud, and then you lower the volume, and then when I go soft, and then you increase the volume. As we continue our best of 5 qualifying match here on Lightshade LE, we're in the top left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner. We have the red Terran player coming out from the land of Taiwan. He is going to be representing himself as he sips on his caviar, slips on his blue suede shoes, question mark, over in his cabana in the Ryukyu Islands. He is, of course, JavieR.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player. He is blue, representing Team Kyoga. It is Crush. Oh my god. Let's go.
Yep.
So we were wondering what Crush was maybe contemplating after game number 2, because, you know, there was a little bit of a break period there, being like, what does he have in store for us here? And, oh my god, it is going to be a proxy gateway with another gateway at home.
Once again, he's realized, alright, I won game number 1 after I proxied. I lost game number 2 after I played standard. I'm just going to do what wins me games. Not this time, though. JavieR will go for that SCV scout. I did what you did at the start of the broadcast line. I looked at the name and I was like, I can speak Hangul? Or I can read Hangul?
They're like, no,
I can speak Korean?
But thankfully
Does anyone know what those letters mean?
Yeah, thankfully we do have an SCV scout here for... Okay, there we go. Thank God. Thank God.
He's slowly checking the natural.
For now, anyway, we'll see if he does dip into the main base. This Zealot is a big tell if the Zealot reveals itself, but ooh, it just barely is out of vision here. So he is able to keep this hidden for the time it being, and oh, JavieR is none the wiser.
Yeah, unfortunately. I will say that delaying the natural base of the Protoss player, though, is already a little bit of a tell. It's a tell that, you know, maybe I should be taking this seriously. I should be a little bit more safe. So he does grab a low-ground bunker as quickly as he's able.
The Stalker just ran into its death. He was so greedy. He tried to get past the bunker to try and force a delay here on the CC, but it was already taking too much damage. One Stalker going down already. That's a massive loss there for Crush.
Really is. And now the Reaper scouts where the proxy's at. Ah, man, JavieR should be able to shut this down. He even delays the natural base even longer with an eBay block.
That he does. The low ground CC is completed as well. Again, this build was designed to get past the bunker and hopefully delay the CC, maybe even force a denial, but nothing of the sort has happened. Crush has achieved absolutely nothing with this opener, and he's even further behind because the NG bay is almost done at home.
I love it. It's got so much health, but it can be cancelled any time. Ah.
Yeah.
JavieR.
And the Zealot
That's why they call you the gentleman Terran.
And unfortunately, the Zealot was across the map, so now he has to run all the way back home.
You know what? Reapers can do. They can
He's making
He's getting a second. Yeah. JavieR.
God, it's
the
insane.
Absolute disrespect.
Jesus Christ. I mean, what? It's over, mate. It's gonna take so long to expand. What does Crush do? He throws down a Robo. I imagine the plan here is just to... he does have a second gateway. Maybe get a third gateway, get a War Prism, and just all in. Oh my, never mind. As you were saying.
He's playing it like a Zerg player. This double eBay block, man. I want this to be more prevalent.
Oh, God.
Cancel it. You gotta cancel it, though. Yeah, he cancels it. He gets his refund. You gotta cancel JavieR. You gotta cancel. You gotta cancel JavieR. Or not.
I mean, he doesn't have to cancel it yet. He's perfectly fine right now. Beautifully done by JavieR. Just controlling the entire flow of this game. Third CC is even on the way. The other important thing to note is that we do have a 1-1-1 opener. We don't have any of that 3-rack shenanigans going on, even though it probably could have ended the game.
Yeah, I'm sure Javier's probably kicking himself right now, like, oh, the one game I don't go for 3 racks. He cancels it again, and more importantly, he sees the transferring probes. As that happens, he knows exactly where to hit with his push.
Yep. He confirms that it's not a one base all in, that there is a natural out there for Crush, so he doesn't have to worry too much. He even slips in with his Reaper and is able to get a full scout of the main base, confirms the tech, confirms that there is no Dark Shrine. Gonna be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, you gotta be feeling over the moon right now, JavieR.
Oh yeah. Gonna be feeling like some caviar after this game, mate.
Feeling like Caviar Napoleon.
Marquises acampado. There you go. Oh boy. Well, here we go. Crush is now moving out across the map with his Stalkers to achieve whatever he can. I mean, Blink is already done for him. He does have a high ground vision with his Observer, but there is a Raven and a Cyclone already denying that. Oh, no! Mate.
The Observer gets sniped, and now these... Oh, you could even see the Stalkers were trying to blink on the high ground. But instead, they get a fistful of tank shots.
Get a fistful of tanks, and mate, we're about to get a fistful of GG because nothing is going right here for Crush. Not at all. Oh, God.
No, he's the one getting crushed.
Exactly. He's trying to get into the swing thing. He's trying to get into his upgrades, into his, into his charge as well. But what we are waiting for the time, the moment where JavieR pushes out with his army.
Yes, it's about to finish up about 15-20 seconds away. Estimation. And that's about the time where a lot of Terran players want to pull the trigger, including JavieR.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as Stim and Combat Shields finishes up, he's going to be moving out across the map, and what can Crush do to stop him? The only thing I think he can do is maybe slow down the push, or as the army moves out, maybe come in and chip away at the third base, force the army to come back home, and buy some time that way. Like, he needs to somehow slow down JavieR, otherwise it's all over, mate.
I feel like it's already over.
We'll see. There are still...
JavieR is going for mine drops instead. Potentially, he lifted one mine.
Yeah, like there are still opportunities, hopes and dreams here for Crush. It's not 100% over for him. There are still ways to come back and win this game. But again, he's going to make all the correct moves from here as the upgrades are finishing. Oh, +1 just started. Hopefully JavieR doesn't wait too long.
Yeah, he's already posturing. He's already going towards the northern base location. Hasn't seen that 4th base, but he's going for the 3rd location anyway. The Observer will see this army push out.
That he will. The Stalkers are going to try and chip away at this a little bit. We do have a Warband of Zealots. No shield batteries at the 3rd base. And oh, the Stalkers are getting picked off.
He gets an anti-armor missile on most of these Zealots. That is one way of neutralizing your Protoss opponent's buffer.
Exactly. All the Zealots will be annihilated here as they try to charge on in. So will the Stalkers. So will everything else, mates.
Mate, the target firing on the tanks, really preventing any friendly fire on top of that bio. Beautifully done here from JavieR. And I could see it in his eyes. I could see it in Crush's eyes as he saw the army push out with his Observer. It was like, well, I'm dead, aren't I?
Oh boy, yeah, I mean, maybe he could have tried to counterattack instead, but I think the hope of stopping the push just wasn't there whatsoever. In come the Marines and the Marauders. There's nothing left here at home whatsoever. There's no pylons, there's no shield batteries, there is just GG.
Nothing but Terran bio left. Mate, that is... Oh, man. It feels like a flip switch in JavieR's head. I mean, a similar thing that happened yesterday, where he scouted the proxy, he noticed he was being proxied, and he said, alright, that's how you want to do it. I'm usually a gentleman, but you want to proxy me? Like this? All bets are off. I'm double eBay blocking you.
Yeah.
I'm building towards my push. I'm not even going to push immediately with Stim. I'm just going to make sure I can round up my army as perfect as possible. Because that's how far behind you are.
Yeah, and to be fair, like, it was also kind of Crush's execution of that build, right? Like, yeah. Losing that first... that first circle was... It was all over. Like, I should say, the proxy was all over at that point, and Javier did a really good job at capitalizing on that, you know, with the double NG block. Like, that was just nothing went right there for Crush. Oh,
Yeah.
my heart, man, it's being crushed. Oh, feels bad, man.
Being crush.
I'll be real. I don't know what song you're referencing. I got no idea.
Paramore song.
Paramore.
That's why you don't. That's probably why you don't.
Oh god.
Because you were already an adult at that point.
Yes, Paramore, the band that was made infamous by Twilight. Sure, I listened to that. God damn it, yeah.
Was it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like they got notoriety on them before. Good notoriety, not bad ones. But then they did a song for Twilight. So they could never recover. Actually, it's funny because I think the band actually broke up a little bit after that. And when they reformed, they could only get like 2 members back. And yeah, well, I don't remember.
Here we go. Hopefully we can see some more of those members rejoined. Are we going to go to the ace match, or is it all going to be over here and now, Yaku?
Well, that is the hope, ain't it, for people who voted for JavieR. My hope is that we go to the ace match, but regardless, we're here on Jagannatha, KBBLE. We're in the bottom of the left-hand corner of the map. Starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the 3-Raxer of the... We had something for this earlier on. The Packers, question mark, something like that. He is the Gentleman Terran player. He only needs un o maza in order to qualify for the Taiwan Hong Kong close qualifiers. He is, of course, JavieR.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player representing Clan Kyoga. Currently down in this series, but not out. Not yet. Can he take it to the ace match? It is Grush.
Gah!
Gah!
Kyoga!
As we see, he is looking, checking for some proxies on his side of the map, confirming that nothing crazy is going on. Ooh. Doesn't want to be cheesed out. Not in potentially the final game, mate. Not like that.
And he also doesn't want to cheese.
No, he does not. No. I could do it some
for a bit of an early expansion, as could I. I have not eaten yet.
What's wrong with you, man? Why are you drinking Red Bull on an empty stomach? Get some food. What the hell?
Wait, is that like how it's like you shouldn't have soju on an empty stomach?
Why shouldn't you have soju on an empty stomach?
Because soju is like, it goes down easy, it's smooth, so it's like, you know, you don't realize that you're actually drinking like 12% alcohol.
I don't think that's the reason why you should not, because it's smooth. I don't think that's the reason why you shouldn't drink it on an empty stomach, but sure.
Yeah.
God damn it. Yeah, we'll see if Crush can smooth things out here. Because what he's been going for so far, he's been struggling to work. To be fair, that last game was just like a series of unfortunate events. Like, that was just unfortunate. Like, I don't think that's really indicative of Crush's skill, you know, how that went down.
Definitely isn't. Especially with how he did take the first map and even the second map. Despite some questionable decisions being made, he was able to stall JavieR for the longest of times before he got put down.
Definitely. So I believe. But we'll see if he can pull it off here, as once again going for a Twilight Council opening, I imagine just for Le Blink.
Yeah, I get it.
What?
Twilight. That's all I'm putting. Oh yeah, Crush has been doing this a lot when he's not proxying. Hasn't really gone for any Phoenix openings yet.
Yeah, just not really his style. Meanwhile, the Reaper is sniped, so at the moment JavieR is in the dark. He isn't, oh never mind, he actually did see the Twilight Council that was being produced, so he is aware of what the opener is. I mean, there could be a Dark Shrine behind this, and he would be none the wiser, but unfortunately Crush isn't Beastlord, and we do not see DTs.
I wonder if DTs would work out for him, though. Because again, with the style of play Javier is going for, he's delaying his syrup base for quite a while. He has limited scans. This time in these past 2 games, he has been getting Ravens for his pushes, so maybe DTs wouldn't be as effective otherwise, but still. Might be able to sneak them in as a, just as a way to keep the army back or bring the army home.
Yeah, you can definitely find something for them to do, some value for them. As you're saying, there is a Raven coming out, so at least when it comes to the main army, there will be detection with it, so Javier doesn't have to worry about any of that. He's kind of making sure that he's dotting all his I's, crossing his T's, getting his third on the way.
Walling off.
Yeah.
Oh!
Not fully, but he's walling.
Yeah. Well, takes time to build the supply depots.
There you go. There you
Doesn't
go.
want to over commit to them as he still needs some minerals to get his upgrades. And speaking of upgrades, we have not just double forge once again from Crush, double E-base here from Javier.
Oh, we're all about the upgrades here in Taiwan.
They are actually. That's why the internet infrastructure is so good.
There you go. There you go. So
Best countries actually for internet infrastructure.
We'll see. We'll see how things go from here. We have a robo on the way, but again, so far from what we've seen, this is just for observers and detection and maybe immortals. Splash damage, are we going to see it? Probably not. Hopefully, I'd be pleasantly surprised if we do see it, to be honest.
Has he ever gotten a Warp Prism, now that I think about it?
No. I don't think he has.
Yeah, see, that again is kind of bizarre to me, because it's like, alright, you want to go Gateway heavy, even skipping the Robo Bay, and even the Twilight Council, because you want as many Zealots and Stalkers as you can. Might as well get a Warp Prism out at that point, right? Try to harass across the map.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you could do. I think Haas gets away with it, but I'm pretty sure Haas also has like multiple like proxy pylons around the map to warp in.
Yeah,
like he makes up for it,
Yeah, he slow warps in by his 4 pylons, and he's also super greedy behind all of that, double expanding left and right, which, Crush is being sensible and not doing that. But he's also kind of getting the worst of both worlds. He's getting quick of 4th, but not, perhaps not as greedy as he otherwise could be.
Ooh, beautiful scan by Javier confirms that there is a 4th base. And to me, anyway, that would be a tell of like, let's be aggressive, right? Like, oh my god, my opponent's getting a 4th base. I need to try and stop that.
That activates the instinct in the Terran player. To be like, oh, you do not want to let the Protoss economy get out of control. Sim is about to finish up. 1-1 is about to finish up. Let's go. You're in the middle of your transition.
Yeah, like everything right now, like everything is just screaming at Javier to push, and finally all the upgrades have finished up. Now is the best time. He scans, confirms that there is no 5th. Oh no, there is a 5th base. And if there ever was a time to push out, it is now. He confirms that there is a War Prism coming across the map.
Well, he's just gathering his forces once again, making sure that his macro, that he's building the buildings he needs to before he sends his army across the map. That way he can focus on nothing but his army.
And now it's go time. Let's go. Javier is pushing out across the map. Unfortunately, Crush does not have eyes on this. He didn't have an observer in position. He is going for a War Prism harass into the main base, which is great, but in comes the main army. And oh my god, the anti-armor missile! It covers everything!
There is absolutely no way Crush wants to engage that. And now the 5th base has been cancelled, there is nothing distracting Javier from jumping on top of that army.
Oh god.
Sure, the Warp Prism's here, but how much can it really do?
Exactly.
Do I warp in at home defensively, or do I warp in across the map? Another anti-armor missile getting into the heart of that army.
It's crazy. All the Zealots do get blanketed once again. Meanwhile, there we go. We do see Javier trying to push on forward. At the same time, there is a Zealot run by, but it gets cleaned up and only gets 3 SCVs.
Trying to check if the Warp Prism went down. It did not, but I mean, there's enough reinforcements back at home for Javier, it seems.
Yeah.
Javier. Okay.
That there are. Meanwhile, Javier, he is not backing down. He's pushing on forward, borrowing the Widow Mines in the face of his opponent. Another anti-armor!
Anti-armor!
Ah! It doesn't stop.
Widow Mines connect. The Zealots do get on top of the tanks. Very good concave here from Crush. So this is enough to chase JavieR back, but at this point he can just rotate. No more Prism!
Ooh,
Okay, doesn't die.
It was juicy, it was right for the picking, but JavieR does not bite, he does not go for it. Instead, he reinforces with his army. Those Widow Mines are still alive from earlier. This is what I was talking about. They never get dealt with from Crush. You need some protection, Papi.
Let's move them into the mineral lines, Papi. More Prism will be dealt with just like that. It's gone in the blink of an eye, in the blink of a stalker.
Yeah, that it was. Meanwhile, we do have a couple of Widow Mine shots going off on the transferring workers. That will mean that they won't be available for the main fight, but man, he doesn't even need it. There aren't enough Zealots.
There really aren't. There are even more Widow Mines where that came from. You know, we've been calling him the Gentleman Terran, but really he's Spider-Man. GG is called, and JavieR will be the last or the second last player qualifying for the DreamHack Winter Taiwan, Hong Kong, Mongolia, Macau, Japan close qualifiers. Well played. We had our eyes on him ever since last season to make it to a close qualifier, and now he does.
Now he does. GG, well played. Congratulations to JavieR on making it through. He came so close in qualifier number 1, as you were saying, but we knew who to follow. We knew who to hype up, and JavieR, he will be qualifying for the close qualifiers.
And very surprisingly, Light, despite starting that series first, Nazin has already qualified for that second spot in the close qualifiers, defeating not Cell, but Little Wolf 3-1. Who is this? Who is this player? Little Wolf. We gotta have our eyes on him the next time he signs up for one of these.
Wow.
Because taking out Cell 2-1, that is not something. That is not something that a lot of players can do, especially an unknown player.
Exactly. I do know that we had a couple of people from the Taiwanese community in the chat, and maybe you can illuminate us a little bit here, because for a player like Little Wolf to take down Cell, that is absolutely insane. Cell has been a mainstay from this region for a very long time, has made it to the closed qualifiers before many times, and for him to be stuffed by Little Wolf is insane. Unfortunately, Little Wolf didn't go all the way and qualify, but he did make Naxin work for it. He did take a game off of him, so at least he does have that going for him. And I cannot wait to see him in those future seasons.
Nor I. What race does he play? I want to know.
Let's check out.
I'm kind of hoping it's Zerg.
I hope so too. We need some.
So you had a lot of TVPs in these past couple of qualifiers. You even had some TVTs and a PvP.
I have confirmation he's Terran.
All right then.
Taiwan,
the land of the Terran.
The land of the Terran and the Protoss, to be fair.
Yeah, apparently Little Wolf has been around for quite some time, since about the start of Legacy. It's the first time we're hearing of him.
Yeah.
Took a little bit of a hiatus, it seems, after 2017. So 2018, 2019, 2020, bit of a break.
And
or I guess more 2018, 2019.
That does lead us to why we were unable to see him in the past. But regardless, GG, well played to all of our qualifying players. Nazin, of course, does make it through. We expected that. He was one of the favorites, whether it was him or Cell, to be fair. And now with that, we have our confirmed players for the closed qualifier.
That we do! We have, of course, our invited players. We have Lemon, Go-Go Joey, Mystery Man, otherwise known as Rilakuma, and Rex. Then, from the open qualifiers, we have Beastork, Yogur, JavieR, and Nazin.
Yeah. They will be duking it out this weekend, and it will be covered. It will be casted here on this channel, on the CranKy Ducklings, the closed qualifier. It is going to be Saturday afternoon. And the players who move on from those qualifiers, the 4 players, will face the 4 invited players in the main event. The Protosses, but always, Haas, Nice, and the Terran, Expect.
Yeah, I got it.
Nice.
Nice there, yeah.
That
the 3
is.
Protoss warlords of Taiwan carved out their own section of the island.
The triad, the warlords. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Regardless, it was a great day of StarCraft today. We did have more downtime than we're used to be fair, but that was also our fault. We did miss a series and we were unable to jump into the mid-series.
We missed a map
we did,
rather than a series, let's be real.
We did.
Rather than a full-on series, it was just one map. You know?
We did miss a map, we did. So our apologies there, but I hope everyone enjoyed the chat that we had about
the impromptu podcast.
There you go. But yeah, that is now the end of today's qualifier for Taiwan and Hong Kong, the end of all the open qualifiers for this region, and our next cast is tomorrow in I believe 9 hours. In 9 hours, gonna be DreamHack North America qualifier number 2.
Dos. ¿Por qué los?
There you go. But with that, Yaku, mate, who the hell are you? And where can people find you?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. So I pay a service for. I am Yaku de la Zaku, otherwise known as El Profesora, and I won't be streaming, but if I do, find me over at twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1. I will announce when I stream over on twitter.com at EmporeYakuzaku. And if I forget to, then the bot in Discord, !Discord in the chat, will tell me to do that. Or will inform everybody in the Discord server. So, !Discord. May as well buy my shirts. I actually have a new one here. I didn't change after I got home. This is a new shirt, but it's just... I don't think I've ever appeared in this shirt.
There you go. You know what I have to ask, Yaku? Where are your hats?
My hats?
Yeah, we haven't seen your hats this season
My
yet.
hats?
Yeah. You have like 10, and we haven't seen them.
What do you want? I'm wearing jeans today.
Hey, you're wearing pants.
Yeah.
That was a risky move, by the way, standing up like that was.
I didn't have time to take my pants off. I got home and then I ran the unit preloader and grabbed water.
Thank God you just happened to go outside. Otherwise, we would be banned right now. It would not.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God. Beautiful.
Actually, that's pretty well.
So yes, if you want to tune into more Yakuzaku, he will be over at Yakuzaku1 on Twitch and Emporio Yakuzaku on Twitter, so be sure to follow him there for his streams. He does like ladder occasionally, sometimes playing some Final Fantasy, or sometimes other stuff like, I don't know, Euro Truck Simulator 2020.
PC built simulator.
There you go. Or Hotafu Boyfriend.
Recommend me something to play on Halloween.
Yes.
It's probably going to be Little Nightmares.
Halloween is on the horizon, so Yaku will be streaming for that. Meanwhile, you can follow me at light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I'm going to be streaming throughout the week, some ladder sessions, especially because, like, I know that I said I wasn't going to stream, but after these qualifiers, like, I get the itch, I get the urge. I'm like, I want to try it.
Especially after watching JavieR.
Yeah.
TVP, mate. I love that matchup.
It's inspiring as well. Like, you see JavieR and you're like, yo, fast NG Bay, like the old days, +1 3 racks timing. Let's go. Oh God. So yeah, you can follow me there. I do stream throughout the week, whether it's a ladder session in StarCraft or Final Fantasy 14 or some Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever is the flavor of the day. And yeah, shout out to everyone in the chat as well. I hope everyone enjoyed the stream, enjoyed the broadcast. You know, Shiva Blaster, Zatrosh in the chat is the admin, by the way, so massive shout out to him. Without Zatrosh, then this tournament would not have happened, period, or it would have been run poorly. So again, shout out to him. We got to see Lord Loken show up earlier. We got to see, I believe, Kuro was here, Samu's sidekick. Massive love to Vivid for the raid. And if you want to tune in to more StarCraft, to more DreamHack, again, we're live every single day, usually with 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4 casts a day. Plenty of StarCraft here.
3.5.
3.5.
By the end of the fourth one, it's
3.5.
By the end of the fourth one, it's like, is
Yeah.
it even a cast?
Yeah, our brains are
It's
gone
even
by
worse.
that point. It's all mush, you know. We start just making noises and barely speaking English. It's great. It's beautiful.
We default to our sleep language, which is Portuguese.
Português, sí. Sí.
Portuguese.
Fala, galera.
Gelara.
Oh god.
Bananas.
There you go. I did ! socials in the chat, so you can follow the CranKy Ducklings on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Join us on Discord if you want to interact with us or the casters, the players, the community.
You can see a tour of my neighborhood.
You can. Don't dox yourself. Yaku, please.
Yeah, they don't know this. They don't know the level I live on.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Just endanger the rest of your neighbors. Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, I already do that when I cast.
It's true. It's
they haven't complained yet.
Oh god. But yeah, with that, of course, you can help support the channel as well if you wish with subscribing here on Twitch. It is September, so there are discounts on Twitch subs, and with your Twitch sub, you can become a part of the pond. You gain access to our emotes, our sub channel on Discord, and replay packs. Not replay packs of DreamHack. We don't have permissions to share those. Yeah, that's
property.
That's all on ESL. ESL do that themselves, but we do that. We do share replays when it comes to the other tournaments that we cover. Oh. And with that, Yaku, do you have anything else you want to add, buddy? Wait.
No. I haven't itched in an unfortunate area. Kinda wish I didn't wear pants today.
What are you saying? Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you guys in 9 hours.
9.
Ciao.